Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to be talking through my thought process and explaining why I am making all of the decisions that I am making in a ranked game of the finals. My voice is still a little bit sore, so that's why I might sound a little bit different. I am playing as Heavy. I'm using Flamethrower, RPG, Dome Shield and Barricades. You can pair this loadout with the Mesh Shield. The Mesh Shield's very, very good. I think it's going to be a lot better if you're using comms or if you're trio stacking, which I'm not. Again, I'm just solo queuing. And also, I just kind of prefer the Charge and Slam. A massive weakness of the Flamethrower is obviously the range, and I like using the Charge and Slam to try and kind of catch up with my opponents, and then I can finish them off again with the Flamethrower. And then I've got a light and a medium. The light loadout, I'm not too sure. I think they're using the XP54. And I honestly don't remember what the rest of the loadout is. It does say at the start, though. I did check. I just don't remember. Our medium, I think, is using Zipline, Jump Pads, Dematerializer, FCAR, and Defibrillator. So, you know, Dematerializer isn't fantastic. It can be used creatively, but it's certainly not the best. Here I try to test if I can destroy this balcony with my Flamethrower, which I ultimately decide that I cannot do. But that's what's happening here, because I found out the other day that you can destroy the banisters, like the one just in front of it, with the Flamethrower very, very quickly. So I was just testing out if I could destroy that one as well, but it didn't work out so well. And also there's no team here yet, so I can kind of just mess around a little bit, which is what I'm doing, just testing out some theories and so on. But here we've got Vault 1, and we're just going to Cash Out A. Now, it is unfortunate that Purple is also bringing this to Cash Out A. I see a Purple, I try and RPG them, it looked like they were going to attack my teammate. I just finished them off with the Flamethrower. Nice, easy pick. I chuck a Dome Shield, I see this person up these stairs, I'm just simply flanking them, and I'm going to try and take them out as well. Now, Purple is wiped, so I think that there's not going to be another team here, but now I start getting shot at, so now there's another team here. I put 2 barricades by my teammates so they could steal the cash out, but the enemies came from above. I placed the barricades that I placed, I can now use as cover while I'm flamethrowing. So if you don't know, the barricades make it really, really hard for your opponents to hit you if they're on the other side of it, and I'm able to, like, successfully get rid of the rest of orange there as well with the assistance of my teammates. Barricades are super, super, super annoying to play against as a Heavy. Especially if you're pairing it with Flamethrower, because then the enemy just has to, like, run away, because they're really not going to be able to do so much damage to you. So someone uses Dematerializer to bring this down. I'm going to try and mark them, but I don't. I could have marked the floor. I try and RPG that person, but a Dome Shield goes down at a really unfortunate time. I threw my Dome Shield down, and then I just start using my Flamethrower. I get an assist there, teammate gets the finish. But Flamethrower is also very, very good at damaging multiple people at once, obviously. So I'm chilling in a corner here for a second while regenerating some health. Health regeneration kicks in. I try and get this Heavy, which I do. A teammate has died again. That's okay. I'm just going to chill in this corner, wait for some health regeneration. This wall does give me a bit of cover. I try and place a barricade here because that would be a really nice spot. I'm waiting for my Charge and Slam to kick in, which happens now. I just got the cooldown back. And now I try and run away, maybe try and circle back to rest my team afterwards. But unfortunately, I get killed on that corner. So, you know, very, very hectic fight. A lot of teams in the one spot. And that's because at the start of that fight, a teammate put the... Well, I'm not sure if it was teammate actually, but it definitely could have been. But both of the vaults ended up in the same cash out. And that's never, ever, ever good. So as we were approaching that fight, we did see someone else had another vault, and they were also coming to this area. One of the teams should have turned around and gone to cash out B. But with the current situation, we're not far off of first place, which is kind of odd. Like, Purple just got wiped. We've got 2,800 cash, so if you just open another vault, then we'll be in second place, which is weird, but I think that's how it's going to work. But anyway, in general, when 2 vaults are in the one cash out, it's always going to be a bit of a weird fight. So I got a nice RPG there. I get 2 kills, just finish them off with the Flamethrower. Flamethrower doesn't do a whole lot of damage, right? So it does lots of chip damage, but it does it very, very slowly. So ideally, when you're using the Flamethrower, you want to get a good bit of burst damage in, either with the RPG or with the Charge and Slam. I like to start off with the RPG. You can also use it for finishers, though, but I tend to like to finish people off with the Charge and Slam. So it's very, very good for chip damage, and also sometimes you can go back to cover while you're shooting with it. And, you know, maybe finish someone off, and then you don't die because the Flamethrower is still ticking fire damage on them, even though you might not actually be shooting them anymore. So there's a couple of strategies with the Flamethrower, but I think you'll probably be seeing that later on. Here I just go open this vault, I start getting shot at, I Charge and Slam to go underneath, so I Charge and Slam through a wall, and then jump so it goes underneath as well, just so the enemy doesn't finish me off, really. And I'm running away. I don't know why my teammates are fighting over there. You gotta play the objectives. Right now they're just taking some pointless fight against, I don't know, it's probably like a 2v2 or like a 2v1 or something, but there's really not a whole lot of point killing whoever they're killing. You might as well just go to the objective. So I'm not too sure which objective to go to here. I don't know which one's going to be put in first, and that is the one that I'm going to want to go to. So I just kind of guess it's going to be this one. They both look like they're going to be put in at a similar time, so it's probably not going to matter a whole lot. As long as the time difference isn't so much on the cash outs, it's probably going to be okay which one you go to. So they were both put in quite close together, so it doesn't really matter if you go to the one that was first or not in this scenario. So we are marking this cash out. One teammate's still... Oh no, they're coming. Yeah, no, we're both coming here. One teammate was a little bit far behind, but they're catching up. And now at this cash out, I just checked the scoreboard there to see who we're fighting. Sometimes it can just be very, very valuable information to check the scoreboard to know what the enemies are, like if they're a light, a medium, or heavy, just so you know what you're getting into with this fight. So I saw someone down there, I RPG'd, and now I'm on the stairway. I've got a dome shield. I go back around here, place 2 barricades, and now I realize there's like 2 teams fighting. I check the scoreboard to see who's alive, and I'm just going to chill in here until I think it's going to be a good opportunity to attack. Teammate goes to steal the cash out. Purple goes and kills them. I didn't know that there was a drop down here, so, you know, I should have gone in a little bit sooner. I would have gone in a little bit sooner had I known that was there. So they didn't kill my teammate, so I went in, like, before my teammate died. Try and dome here. I got the heavy already, and I see them getting the totem, so I kind of have to 2v1 here, because if I don't, then the mediums are going to rest the heavy, and then it's going to be like a 3v1 against me while I'm trying to get one of my teammates up. So if I tried to run away there and grab one of my teammates' totems, one of them probably would have chased me, it would have been a 1v1, then the other one would have rest their heavy, and then even if I killed the one that I 1v1'd, it would still then be a 2v1, because I wouldn't have had time to get my teammate up. So there wasn't a whole lot I could do in that situation. I could have tried to run, but there wasn't a whole lot of point, and this is a pretty okay time to get wiped, because we're still going to have time to get to another cash out. So that was kind of the thought process there. I knew I could run, but I didn't think it would be very good because I visually saw that enemy take their teammate's totem, and I was like, okay, they're just gonna res. I try and get an RPG there. I think I actually hit my teammate though, so it doesn't hit where I wanted it to. I see someone out there. There they are. Just gonna try and finish them off with the flamethrower. Again, if you're using the flamethrower, it does damage real slow, so you gotta be protected while you're doing it, be it with barricades or with dome shields or something. I try and protect my teammate a little bit there as they get the cash out. I try and get away from the cash out, and now there's simply no more time left to get it, which is a little bit unfortunate. If you're the teammate there and you're stealing the cash out and someone's trying to protect you, your teammates are trying to protect you, you have to keep going for the cash out, because if you stop getting the cash out and you die, you lose the fight anyway. So you might as well keep trying to get the cash out, and then if you die, oh well, you did your best. But you gotta try and go for the cash out there in that situation. So this is like a flamethrower v flamethrower situation. I just want to open this vault. I want to get the 1000 cash, and also we have to open another cash out, get another cash out started for us to win this game. So my main objective there is just to open that vault, and I sacrifice myself to do so, because it's better I get it open and get that 20-second timer ticking, instead of just dying, and then I haven't really done anything there. And this is a very, very okay time to get wiped. All that has to happen is one of these vaults simply has to go into another cash out. So purple, yeah, purple has vault 5 there, and I'm pretty sure orange has vault 6. So maybe salmon's gonna get a hold of it though. It's really annoying that orange and salmon are so similar colors. There's also like pink and purple, but that's not as hard to distinguish. So I think someone has this vault and they're going to put it into cash out 8. It must be salmon, because orange, it wouldn't make sense for orange to be doing it. If you're orange in this situation, you have to like just not let the vault go into the cash out and then you win the game, but I think it must be salmon. I just can't see because the editor is really, really small, so I just can't tell what color it is at that smallness level. No, it is orange. Yeah, orange put that into cash out A. Don't do that. And then my teammate does something really not so smart here. You have to bring this vault to the other cash out. While everyone's fighting here, you have to bring this vault to the other cash out, because that's going to take like so much heat off of you, because there's going to be 2 cash outs. You're only going to have to defend against one of the team if everything goes well. You don't want to put these 2 vaults in the same cash out, but that is what my teammate ends up doing. So now we have to get this to win. So, you know, a little bit of a hasty decision there. By the time they brought it all the way here, though, they wouldn't have had so much time to go back to the other cash out. Maybe they were getting followed. You know, I don't really know their situation. There's no reload mode or anything. Anyway, back to this fight. I flamethrower someone a little bit through the barricades, then I charge inside my own barricades to finish them off. So that's like a thing that I like doing that a lot of people just don't really think about. Because when you're behind a barricade and you're flamethrowing them, they don't really think that you're gonna come out of the cover that you made yourself, right? So it's a thing I would quite like to do. I saw my teammate emerge from the flashbang there, and I thought that it was an enemy, so I put the dome shield behind me, but it would have been very, very nice to put that down at this cash out. But I just thought it was an enemy, so that's why I did that weird dome shield there. I put a barricade down here, I get an RPG. I tried to hit both of the opponents there with that one. I think I only hit one though. I finished this person off after I charged and slammed them. One teammate has died by the cash out. I don't know who killed them, so I'm just going to try and wrestle him here. And then I'm going to just go straight for the cash out. That's the plan here, because if we don't get this, we lose. I barricade my teammate. I'm going to stand in front of them so that if someone starts shooting them, they're going to just hit me instead. And then I've got my dome shield back. I dome them too. And we get the cash out. There's not going to be a whole lot of time for someone else to steal this, but I think I'm going to mess up a little bit here. I mess up that jump. I have to, like, stay there, because if that person kept stealing there, they probably would have gotten it, unless my teammate stopped them or something. But you got to watch out, because even after you get the cash out, even if it's really late on, you got to make sure you defend it a little bit more, just until the very last second, which I didn't do. I kind of dropped down, and I started, like, running away a little bit, and then I realized afterwards, oh wait, I've got to get back to the cash out. So that's round 1. I finished with 15 kills, so I think that was a pretty good round, and both my teammates got 9 kills. So even though it was like super duper hectic, and there were a lot of third parties and even like fourth parties as well, we did come out in first place. So now we're going to go on to round 2. It is the second round, and we're going to Vault 2 because it is closer. And I think we're going to hear an enemy team on the left here. Teammates are a little bit far behind because I was using the Charge and Slam as a movement boost. If you didn't know it did that, now you know it does that. I'm just going to simply throw a dome shield out here in case anyone's there, and I'm going to open the vault. Always good to keep the vault, to get the vault open straight away. And also, it does give you that 1,000 cash. So I'm just using my flamethrower to finish that heavy off there. Had a little bit of trouble on my aim, but I did end up finishing them off. I get killed there by someone else. I try and place a barricade, but I think they shoot past it. I think it was... well, it was just an FCAR, was it? I think. Anyway, I get killed there, and then we get wiped. So, you know, it doesn't go very well. I lost a lot of health to that first heavy, simply because I wasn't really aiming so well. I also wasn't in any cover. And then I tried placing some barricades after, and they weren't the best placement, basically, and I was still kind of just standing in the middle of the room. So not a best play, not a very good play, rather. And we do end up getting wiped. So it doesn't really matter if which cash out we go to here, because again, there's not a whole lot of time difference. I'm marking this one because it was put in first, and like by a little bit of extra time, so it would still be quite beneficial. And also I just think it's closer because of these jump pads. So I end up marking it, and then our other teammate comes, and now I'm trying to be like huddle here to my third teammate so that they come as well, and we're all in the same place. You always want to stick with your teammates even if you think they've made the wrong decision. So I saw someone over there shooting at that person that I just RPG'd, so I figured there must have been somewhere there. There must be someone there. Then I RPG'd them. That's a kill. My teammates start getting shot at, so obviously the enemies are over here. Got a nice spot. I'm getting lots of burst damage with this flamethrower. Now, I did some flamethrower to this heavy. They start getting healed, and then I tried to finish them off with the Charge and Slam. It doesn't work, but I do kill them anyway. Then I kill the medium as well. I'm very, very low at this point. I don't have a whole lot of ammo. My teammates are shooting someone, though. I was thinking about going down to try and finish them off, but then I just decided to let the health regeneration kick in. Then I've got 2 barricades here, and I'm just going to go for the steal. I don't think the enemy team has been wiped, but good luck to the light stopping me right now. I thought I was out of the fire there, but I wasn't, so I was just taking damage from that. So the light actually very easily could have killed me there, but they weren't around. They were probably resing their teammate or something. Now I used the Charge and Slam here to try and go res my teammate, but my medium used the dematerializer. I should probably be at the cash out here. Here I make a pretty big mistake, which is I'm not at the cash out. There is a light. I was trying to go back up, to be fair to myself. And then I saw a light here. My light was probably going to try and stun my teammate. I see a heavy through here. They are super low. I had to be cautious of trying to hit them twice with the Charge and Slam, though, because there is like an edge there. If I fell out that window, I would have just like fallen off the map and died. So that's why I cancelled it manually, even though I could have finished off the heavy there because I didn't want to die. But that does cause me to die. So our light's chilling out here, and at this point we don't have a whole lot of time to steal the cash out. So again, it is a third party, so a little bit unfortunate, but also we weren't anywhere near the cash out there, and I think a different team entirely to the one we were fighting ended up getting it. I think Orange got it, and we were fighting Salmon there on the bottom floor. So we all just went a little bit far away from the cash out, basically, and then it didn't go great. In general, you gotta stay close to the cash out. Even after I saw that light go down to my teammates, maybe I should have just ran back up and tried to, like, defend it, because there wasn't much time left on it, but it's a pretty tricky situation. Anytime it's a fight where there are multiple teams, it's always going to be kind of tough to make the calls in it. And it's, yeah, pretty much it. Anyway, there's another group fighting here. It's Salmon. I see a light. I try and RPG them, try and finish them off. Then I see someone resing through the dome shield. No, mesh shield. No, it is a dome shield. Yeah, never mind. I try and take them on. I thought it would be a good time to try and shoot them while they were resing. And here I just got a bunch of tunnel vision. You don't really need to do that. Completely pointless fighting here. If you win it, you get a maximum of 600 cash for wiping the entire enemy team. And if you lose it, then you lose 30% of your cash, which isn't good. So there's quite a high risk and quite a low reward. So there's really just not a whole lot of point taking this fight. You get more cash for just going to Vault 3 and opening Vault 3. And now I realize this, I understand why I died in that last fight, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to repeat that mistake. And I deliberately mark Cash Out D here, because I don't want to, that's really unfortunate. I try and RPG someone, and they throw a goo barrel at me as I'm trying to RPG them, so I just blow myself up there. But what I was going to say is here you have to go to the Cash Out. You don't go to the vault, because if you put this vault in, most likely everyone's going to go third party at the Cash Out that you put it in, because by the time you put this in, Cash Out C is going to be like halfway finished, and then everyone's going to look at you as a target, and they're all just going to come there. Like, yes, if you went to this Cash Out, we would be third partying it, so there would most likely be multiple teams there as well, but it's going to be the exact same situation at Cash Out C, but the only difference is we've given up the opportunity to get an extra Cash Out, which is the one that's currently in, right? So we're giving up all opportunity of getting this Cash Out to put this one in instead, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Most likely, everyone's going to third party at this afterwards. But something interesting happens. The other teams don't have very good game sense, or they all got caught up in a like massive fight or something. I'm still trying to mark Cash Out D here, but what's going to happen is my teammates are going to mark this Cash Out, the one they put it into, the one they put the vault into, and I'm going to be like, alright, I give up, I'll just go to them and defend that one with them. And that's what I'm going to do. And what's going to happen is no one's going to come to this Cash Out. There's going to be no one that tries to counter this Cash Out, no one's going to fight us, we're just going to stay here until we get it, and nothing's going to happen. So I'm going to skip ahead, but in this situation, you do want to go to the other Cash Out. We just got very, very, very lucky, and obviously it was also very, very poor from all of the other enemy teams to not come to this Cash Out. Like, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, purple and orange need to get this, or Salmon's Cash Out, but I think purple and orange just ended up going to, I don't know where they went, because this one's going to finish, and then the only one that's going to be in is our Cash Out. Anyway, I don't know what happened here. We just ended up getting it. Pure luck, really, that no one came here, and I'm going to skip ahead to when something else happens. We get the Cash Out, so the Cash Out finishes, we get it, we're in second place, low gravity has kicked in as well. And now, what you want to do is you want to not let either of these vaults go into either of the Cash Outs. If everything stays how it is, you qualify. If someone puts one of these vaults into a Cash Out, orange is in first place, they don't have to do anything. So if purple or salmon get this Cash Out, you lose, you come in third place, orange is first, and then purple or salmon is going to be first place, orange is going to be second, sorry. But so your main focus here is to not let anyone put this vault in. So I try and shoot that person because they were the one that had the vault. One of my teammates opened the other vault, I think, which you don't really want to do. I die here because there was a light there. I did see them, I tried to charge and slam them, but because low gravity is active, I just fell down really, really slowly, and it didn't really work out well for me. Now we have one teammate alive, and I think they were like planning on stopping the Cash Out from going into, well, stopping the vault from going into that Cash Out. And then it goes in, and now they realize that it's got in, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go res, which is very, very smart. A lot of people in that situation would kind of think that they should be stopping the vault from going into the Cash Out, and then maybe when the vault goes into the Cash Out and their plan doesn't work, they would like keep trying to get the Cash Out, they'd keep going for it. But going for the res there and just switching strategy and realize it's the right thing to do is like very, very good there. So good play from a teammate. I'm alive now. I see someone in the corner there, which I didn't see before. I just charged and slammed straight in. This person's super low. Fire goes through mesh shields. I am able to get the kill. I have to try and fight this person as well, and I do. And now there's a third one that I can't deal with. But luckily my teammates are close and they are going to be able to finish them off. So that's good. And we're in a pretty good position here. I don't really know what this medium was doing. I'm guessing they're low. Their health regeneration did just kick in, so I think they ran quite far away for a second there to try and regen some health. You don't have a whole lot of time though, so you gotta watch out for how long. You gotta watch out for how far you run away, especially in those situations where you don't have much time. So what's happening here is someone's about to steal Orange's cash out, and if that happens, we lose. So we have to kind of just protect Orange's cash out here. You don't go for the steal or anything. You just make sure no one else steals it. And that's exactly what happens. We kill Purple, and then we qualify. So there's always like going to be some amounts of coordination with your enemies there. And there you let Orange get the cash out. If anyone else gets the cash out that isn't you or Orange, then you lose. So Purple tried stealing it there last second. You just got a white Purple. And Orange is going to get the cash out, but you're still going to stay in second place. So you don't have to get the cash out there. Like, you can, but that's just a little bit riskier. And you have to spend 6 seconds stealing it instead of spending 6 seconds shooting the enemies or fortifying the area, right? In that situation, you just let Orange get the cash out because you're going to qualify in second place. And a qualification is qualification. So we win. And we're going to go on to the third round. It is the semi-finals. I'm trying to charge on Sam because it does give you a small movement boost, as aforementioned. A medium uses a zipline, so I just take that to stick with the team, and also ziplines make you go pretty far. And then they use a nice jump pad as well, and now we're at the vault, which I have opened. Someone gets a nice couple of shots at me there while I'm in midair. And then someone else comes down. I try and chase for this kill, which maybe isn't the smartest thing to do, but I didn't really want them to come up again and do some more damage to me. I was hoping they would maybe push me, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I was thinking that maybe they would think that I'm low, and they try and finish me off even though they were low, which just doesn't happen. So, you know, I made a prediction and the prediction didn't work. Then I kind of realized I'm out of position, and I try going back to where my teammates are. Now, I think one of them does a poor throw, and I don't know if it's a bug or something, but what happens when you make a poor throw with the Vault and it kind of falls off the map is it flies back to where it was before. And I knew that was going to happen. But just watch out for those throws. It's going to set you back a little bit of time, especially if you've brought the Vault quite far already. I don't really know why it happens. I don't know if it's a bug or not. But it is a thing that currently happens. I just see this person and we kind of have to go this way anyway to get the Vault right. So I try and finish them off. I try and do some movement thing to catch up. I think they just like stop running in a straight line and then I'm able to catch up to them. But if I needed to, I could have just charged and slammed and then I could have caught up to them that way and then finished them off with the flamethrower. That's why I like the charge and slam paired with the flamethrower. And again, you can use the mesh shield. It is going to be quite useful as well. It's going to pair quite well with the flamethrower. I'm just not personally a fan of it really. I don't really like the camera angle being changed and then having like its separate third person mode sensitivity and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, one vault has already been put into a cash out. And R1's going to be a little bit far behind, but it's not going to be like a crazy difference or anything. So it's going to be pretty okay to defend this one. Like, if it's like halfway, or maybe a lot of the way, then you just go to the other cash out and do that one first. If you fail, you can still come back and defend your one afterwards. But here, there's not a whole lot of time difference, so you might as well just stay at this one. So that's what we're going to do. We're just throwing some goo barrels around, trying to fortify it. Fortifying is always good. In fact, I should probably be placing barricades up here at the cash out, which I just don't do. I'm going to try and place barricades here for anyone that comes up the stairs. Now, I thought that was my teammate because I saw my teammate's health bar and I peeped out. And then I saw the enemy, like the enemy's body. So I thought that was my teammate there for a second. And then I had to do like a double take and then I realized it was the enemy. But anyway, I had a pretty nice position. I think I got an RPG and then I tried doing some flame damage. But obviously there were just more of them, and I just didn't play great. I should have tried to charge and slam out of the way or something, which is probably what I'm going to do here. This is very lucky. That is not what I intended to do. I intended to use the charge and slam to go down through the floor, and then I saw the vent, and I was like, okay, I'll just jump on the vent and go through here, which ends up working. But that was like very, very lucky. It's not what I intended to do, but I did intend to get away. That was the goal there. So this person's here. I waited for my health regeneration to kick in as I was running up those stairs. I knew they were chasing me because I could hear them. Once my health was full, I was like, okay, it's a medium. They're probably not going to kill me because I'm a heavy and I've got loads of health. I see my teammate shooting someone. I just RPG. Again, health regeneration is kicking in. You always want to time when you start your fight with when your health regeneration is kicking in. There's a heavy here. They RPG me. Flamethrower, if you flamethrower, but I think they're on less health. And what I do here is, if I kept shooting them, I would have died. So what I did is I simply opened the door, walked back through the door, and then closed the door, and I knew my flamethrower was going to finish them off. But if I kept shooting there, if I kept standing there and shooting at them, they would have killed me as well, and that would have been poor for my that would have been like a bad situation for my teammates. So with the flamethrower, you kind of get used to knowing how much health you can stop shooting someone at before they die, which is what I did there. They died and I was safe on 10 HP. So here there's just purple. They don't have enough time to get the cash out, so I can just kind of push to help my teammates here. They're both shooting at purple. I take out one, they get defibbed. One teammate is left. I think they're going to try and shoot the heavy that was just defibbed. I think the heavy is the last person on orange, but the heavy just melees them and they are taken out. But we got the cash out, so it's not really so much of an issue. So here's 2 vaults here. Pink is opening one. Sometimes, I don't know why, but when your screen is glitched there, if you look in the top left, when you're glitched, pink looks like salmon and salmon looks like pink. I think pink is in first place. Oh no. Yeah, so there's pink, purple, and salmon, but when your screen is glitched and when you're spectating, salmon looks like it's the color pink for some reason. You can rewind and look at it again there. If you look in the top left, salmon looks like it's pink, and I don't know why, but it's like a weird glitch effect. Anyway, we respawn. We use the jump pad because we're trying to get to this cash out. And there's just an enemy team, so I RPG them and I try and finish one off. A teammate dies here, and I'm kind of contemplating if I want to go back and res or not, and I kind of decide I do want to do that because the vault hasn't been put into the cash out yet, so I might as well res. You can just coin here. It is the 3rd round. I think we've got a good few coins, so I could have just let them coin, but I was thinking if there was anyone else here, then it would probably be nice to clean them up here so that we didn't have to do it at the cash out instead. And also, someone's bringing a vault to cash out C. I wasn't thinking this at the time, but someone is bringing the vault to cash out C. And again, there's not a whole lot of time difference between the 2 cash outs now, so we might as well just go to this one. I think a teammate is AFK here, which I realized right about now. I aimed down sights at my teammate, and I'm thinking they must be AFK. So that's not ideal, but in that situation, you just gotta push with your teammate. I was kind of waiting there for my teammate to get like near the cash out or something, and then they go for the cash out, and I kind of try and push with them at a similar time. There is purple here, so I'm gonna try and take them out, hoping my teammate can take one out, and then maybe we can finish off the last one together. So I do kill the heavy, then there's another one. I charge and Sam to catch up to them. I do finish them off, and it's just really, really unfortunate that there's another team here. It's like, there's been so much third partying in this game in general. It's like actually insane. Third partying's extremely annoying to deal with, and it was just very, very unfortunate that there happened to be an entire other team there. Yeah, it's just really unlucky, and it kind of sucks because there's not a whole lot you can do against third partying. And I don't think it feels fantastic when you do it yourself either. I think if someone does it against you, it just kind of sucks, and if you do it yourself, then, you know, I don't think you really get a whole lot out of it either. I think it's really, really annoying. But yeah, that was just really, really unfortunate. Obviously, when there's more teams, there's going to be more RNG. So, purple here, I missed my RPG, and then I dome shield because I don't know where they are, and I want my health regeneration to kick in. I also reload, because I think that's a good time to... The flamethrower has a massive mag, you don't have to reload a whole lot, but sometimes it is just good to make sure it's full. There, I went into that fight before I had full health, so that was just a simply really, really not very smart at all decision for me. I went into that fight at half health and tried to flamethrower a heavy, which just isn't going to be a good idea. Again, the flamethrower takes a long time to kill someone. You gotta have maximum health, and you need to have some type of like defenses as well, like a dome or barricades. So here, teammate just tries for a steal. I chuck a dome shield on the cash out, so even if it starts falling, it's still going to stay on the cash out. Someone destroys it, but we do get it. Then I just charge inside the floor because I thought they broke the floor. I mean, I thought they got rid of the dematerializer, but now looking back on it, it was probably my medium that got rid of the dematerializer, and then if they saw the ceiling, they would open it again. So a little bit of a hasty decision for me. I didn't recognize it was my teammate's demat, so I just broke the floor. But then I was kind of in the room defending it very, very well as well. But there wasn't really a whole lot of time for anyone to steal it there either. So we get it, and now again, you just kind of not you want to not let either of these vaults. I'm gonna speak some English now. You don't want to let either of these vaults go into either of these cash outs. It's the same situation as it was last round, or a round ago, where you're in second place. Pink can do whatever they want, they can't really lose the game. But if someone ends up getting like 22,000 cash from one of these vaults, and then you get wiped or something, you can like end up not qualifying, which obviously isn't what you want to do. So I'm defending this scout because it was originally much, much closer to the other vault. And now it has gone close to this one, so I'm kind of defending the place where both of the vaults might go here. I start pushing because I think they might start going to cash out A, so obviously I gotta try and catch up. And this poor soul throws the vault to me because I was their only hope, really. Even if they kept running there and tried to put it in themselves, it probably wasn't going to work out. The cash out was pretty far away. So what they did was very, very, very smart, and something I see a lot of people not do in situations where they should. What they tried to do was throw it to me and hope that I would put it into the cash out. Because that does happen. Sometimes there are situations where you work together with an enemy team because the outcome is going to benefit you both. So if I was on like the other team that wasn't going to qualify there, if that vault didn't go in, I would have absolutely just taken that vault and put that vault into that cash out, and there would be a little bit of coordination with the enemy because it would be beneficial to us both. So that was kind of their only option. They weren't going to be able to put that in themselves, so they did a very, very, very good thing there. That's like very, very top tier game sense, but unfortunately they didn't take into account that I was on the team that didn't need to put that vault into the cash out. But even so, sometimes people that don't need to put the vault into the cash out just put it into the cash out anyway. So they did like the smartest thing they could there. So yeah, like props to them. That was a very, very smart decision, but unfortunately I didn't feel like putting that vault into the cash out because I wanted to win the game. I've talked all the way through the, I don't know, like the intermission, and now we're going on to the next match. We're going to the final round, so that's something I haven't done before. Sometimes I talk a lot, but I've never talked that much. But yeah, this is the final round. And I don't think I recognized it at the start, so I'm probably just quickly going to open the scoreboard in a second, and I'm going to find out what the enemy team is. I think it's a light, a medium, and a heavy, though. But going into the final round especially, that's also going to be very, very valuable to know. I check it there, so there's a light, a heavy, and a medium on the enemy team. Now, originally, I think the heavy is the one that was using the flamethrower from before, so I kind of think it's okay to try and RPG them and push them here a little bit, and then I realized they've got the Lewis gun. So that's why I try and pull out the mesh shields, well, the dome shield, but I was just wrong about what they were using there, so maybe I should have paid a little bit more attention during the intro, because during the intro I would have been able to see what weapon they were using. So that was just poor for me, but in the final round especially, you should always pay extra attention in the intro to look at precisely what your opponents are using, what their weapons are, and all of that kind of stuff. Because obviously in the final round, there's only one team, so it's going to be easier to remember and all that. So I try and take them out here, that simply doesn't work because my light ended up shooting one of them quite a lot, so I tried to help finish them off, and then the second one came up, and they just wiped us. But that's a pretty good time to get wiped. It's also good that they put the cash out in now, because that means we're not going to spawn far away. There's still a thing where if someone holds the vault until you respawn, and then puts the vault into the cash out, you spawn really, really far away. But here, because they put the cash out in before we respawned, we respawn quite close. So that's a thing to be aware of as well. It's like a little weird respawn mechanic that you should be aware of. I'm just going up these stairs. I'm going to try and get a nice RPG in here, which I do. I RPG the heavy, then I'm going to use this jump pad to get back up. Going to try and flamethrower the heavy. I get a nice dome shield up there, but I didn't make the jump myself. I'm expecting someone to be here, which they were. I placed a weird barricade there, and I don't know why that person doesn't finish me off. Maybe they thought they finished me, so they stopped shooting. Sometimes that happens to me as well. I was very, very low, so one more shot probably would have killed me. Maybe that's what they thought happened, but that's not what happened, and then I was able to help finish them off, and my teammate got a couple kills there. And then we just get the cash out. We have the enemy team and we get the cash out. So a nice thing about the flamethrower, it's got like a lot of drawbacks and a lot of pros to it, right? One of the nice things about it is if you've got good teammates, which I do in this game, and even if you don't kill someone and you get someone low, which isn't ideal, your teammates are going to have an easier time finishing the enemies off, which you would have seen already a lot throughout this game. So I'm behind my barricades here, they mesh and they dome, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go mess them up. So I charge Sam, I finish them off, then I'm aware of someone above, I try and get them as well. They defib their teammate, and I think it's just our light, and I'm not too sure how they killed the other one, but they end up wiping the entire enemy team there. To be fair, I think one of them was a little bit low for my flamethrower, but not very much, so I think our light just does very, very well here. And I say thanks, and then I give them a little hype symbol, because I think they just 2v1'd someone. I think they just 2v1'd the enemy team and won, which is pretty impressive, especially as a light. And one of them was defibbed, so I guess they were at half health. But even if the enemies weren't full, it's always going to be harder to take out like two half health enemies than it is to take out one full health enemy, just because there are more bodies and more people shooting at you. But anyway, we win that fight thanks to our light, really. They were able to wipe the enemy team there, and if they didn't, they probably would have got the cash out, so that went well. And now we're going to go to Vault 2. Oh, I just remembered something that's going to happen later on. That's really unfortunate for the enemy team. But you'll see what I'm talking about later. That's not quite yet. So we open the vault. I go up here so I can have a nice vantage point. Orange is up top. They are using a mesh shield. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I did that. Looking back on it, that was a really poor play. I think I was trying to hide inside, but I should have, like, done the hiding part a little bit more. I should have let that health regeneration kick in. Here the heavy's low. I'm obviously going to chase. I think they underestimated how much range the flamethrower had there. I think their plan was to get out of the range and then start shooting me, which is a good plan, but it just didn't work because the flamethrower's got a good bit of range to it. So I'm able to finish them off. Teammates finish off the other enemies. And now we're just going to go to the cash out, I think. Is something going to happen here? No, I don't think so. Teammate's going to pop a zipline down. We're going to use a jump pad. And yeah, I start going up the stairs and then the teammate places a jump pad. And I've got pretty good map knowledge here. I've got pretty good map knowledge of everything that isn't Vegas or the new map, just because that one's new. And I know it's probably going to be faster to take the jump pad there, so obviously map knowledge is always going to be very, very valuable. Here I decide I don't like this table. I throw away the chair. I try and flamethrower it. That doesn't really seem to work, so I just melee it because I know melee has lots of destructive capabilities. And then I place the barricades where I want to place them. Placing barricades is just going to be good unless the enemies come from above. If they come through there, like there's a stairway to the left out there, so I know they might come through there, and I can place a gas barrel there, so I can use that if I need to, can blow it up, get some gas damage in as well. But that isn't where the enemies are going to come from. I thought I heard them out there. A teammate marks out there as well, so I'm expecting them to come from the left still. But then that blows up, and I realize that's the enemies, and they come from above. I thought that might have been my teammate or something, trying to get like a nice vantage point, but that wasn't the situation. And here I just blow myself up. I'm normally quite good with the RPG, like a radius of shooting it far enough away from me to not damage myself, but close enough to the enemy to still damage them. But I just mess it up there and I blew myself up. That's always going to happen to anyone, even to the best of players. You're occasionally going to mess up every now and then and blow yourself up. And that's what I did there. So I get defibbed. And I'm probably going to try and go underneath. I barricade here because I think they're going to push me because they know I'm at half health. I try and play around my own barricade, but unfortunately that heavy was getting healed, so if someone's getting healed, it's going to be real hard to finish them off, especially with the flamethrower. So I tried to charge and slam, knock them away from the heal. Then I tried to hit them a second time to finish them off, but it just didn't work. I get rezzed here by our light. I think they coined, but that's fine. We've got loads of coins. So I RPG, they RPG, and I win. I don't know why. I think maybe my RPG was further away from myself or something. So the heavy does die. Then I do a little bit of damage to the medium. The medium defibs their heavy. And this isn't looking good. I played pretty poorly there. I maybe didn't make fantastic decisions. Maybe I should have tried to play with my team a little bit more. I think for that whole fight, I was pretty far away from my teammates. And then I was just kind of 1v1ing people. And that's never going to be good to do. So I played pretty far away from my team there, which isn't going to be ideal. And then the enemy team is just able to defend the cash out successfully. And by the way, we didn't really attack the cash out so much there. So here I place 2 barricades. I'm going to try and res. I think the enemies are probably going to try push me, and this is how you play heavy. You place 2 barricades, you shoot your flamethrower, you charge and slam to get extra range on the flamethrower, maybe bump into them, get that burst damage in, and then you finish them off with a chip damage. So that's like a very ideal example of how you should be playing flamethrower with heavy. I mean heavy with flamethrower. And I res 1 teammate there before I go to the next vault, because obviously you don't really want your teammates to coin there. So I res 1 teammate, and then I start going to the next vault, and my other teammate's going to res the one that still hasn't been resed yet. So, you know, you don't need to res both there. It's going to be good for one person to go to the vault and start getting that opened. So that's what I do, and then our teammate just reses the other teammate. I was going to say something else, but I'm not too sure what it is. Oh yeah, at the last fight, we weren't really fighting at the cash out, so I wasn't fighting with my teammates, and we also weren't really like actively making pushes for the cash out, which would put more pressure on the enemy team. Like I also could have gone to the cash out and used a barricade and a dome shield to try and like wall it all off and then steal it, which would have put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, and I just didn't do that, which is poor. So I missed that RPG. Enemy team is up here. I get messed up by the slight. They get a really nice stun, They just like circle around me, so I miss all of my shots with the flamethrower. I get risky defibbed here, and there's simply not a whole lot I can do. I try and throw the dome shield down, and I try and drop down to it, but that just doesn't work. I die. Now our light is left, and light makes play of the game right here. They just have the vault, and they're just running to cash out D. That's exactly what you want to be doing. We can both just coin, so that's perfectly okay. And you can 100% just take this vault and put this vault into the cash out. That's very, very smart. And now they also do something very, very smart here. They know they're probably going to die. I think they mess up on the elevator, which is easy to do. The elevator can be quite annoying sometimes. And then they just throw the vault away. They know they're going to die, so they want to prolong the enemies putting it in for as long as possible, so that we have more time to fight at the cash out. So I RPG this person, I use my charge and slam to catch up to them. They are still trying to run away, and now here I've got no way of catching up, so I dome. I know they're going to turn around and try and shoot me, so I dome them so they can't shoot me, and then I finish them off with the flamethrower. I felt kind of bad for that one, but that was cool. So, you know, even if you run out of like RPGs and charge and slams, and you don't really have a way to shoot the enemy's probably going to try and shoot you if you're using the flamethrower, and if they think they get out of your range, they're probably going to try and shoot you. So then you can just dome, and they're not going to be able to shoot through the dome shield. They'd have to go around it. But also, as they're shooting, obviously they're not going to be running away from you, and that gives you time to catch up as well. So that's what I do there. I've got 2 barricades in this elevator room. I quite like the elevator room. I like any cash out room that has lots of verticality, which this does. And what I'm trying to do here is go back inside this room, press the button on the elevator so it goes all the way up, because that's where I think the enemies are going to come from. So the enemies do come from above. I can't get back inside the room because there's a jump pad there. And then I know I'm going to die, so I just try and RPG them to get whatever amount of damage on them that I can. So I just couldn't get back into the room. I should have pressed the button on the elevator first, so it went all the way up, and then I should have like gone outside the room. Teammate tries to eliminate the person that's stealing the cash out, which is fair enough, and then they realize they can't do it, so they just back out, let their health regeneration kick in, which is very, very good. I'm probably going to coin here. So there's a light in that corner, and I think they're going to kill my teammate. I didn't realize that both my teammates were there, and I think they actually ended up killing the light. So that was maybe a little bit hasty, but I do also have like 4 coins. So here, I flamethrower the heavy, because I know the flamethrower can go through the barricades, right? And I have absolutely no idea what happens there, but I simply just glitch through the wall. And it's really, 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 really unfortunate for that heavy, because they had a very nice position. They had APS turrets, they had barricades, one of our teammates was dead. If I didn't glitch through the wall there, I think it still would have been a 2v1, because I think it was only that heavy that was alive in that elevator room, but they had it pretty walled off. So it's really, really unfortunate that I simply just glitched through the wall there. But hey, that's what happened. And we just simply end up getting the cash out. I die, that heavy still kills me, because I was in that room. I flamethrower them, they kill me with a Lewis gun. They die, so we're able to steal the cash out. That last teammate steals the cash out, then they res me, and we're able to steal it, and we win the game. So, you know, if that just random wall glitch didn't happen, then we might still have won, so I don't feel so bad about it, because we did still have a little bit of time left on the cash out, so we probably could have come in from above, or made the elevator come to where we wanted it to, and then I could have charged and slammed in. And also, I do think it was a 2v1, so we still had a pretty good chance of winning, so I don't think it's like bad to show that or anything. It's not like a situation where if I didn't get super lucky, it was an absolute loss, so I think I'm just still going to show it anyway. But yeah, it is definitely very, very unfortunate for that orange still. Just a weird little bug there on that elevator or something. I think I had 39 kills in that game. I think that was the number. So this was like a particularly... Might have been 29, actually. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But this was a particularly good game for me as a heavy. I do think Lewis gun or M60 are both better than the flamethrower. I just really hate recoil patterns. I don't really want to learn the 60 different micro movements I have to do with my mouse for the M60, or the 47 different micro movements I've got to do with my mouse with the Lewis gun, on top of like the visual recoil as well. I'm just not really a fan of that. Also, I don't really like the Lewis gun or the M60 a whole lot, because they've got a lot of bullets, but it feels like they don't do so much damage because of the mag size, even though I know that's not true. So I personally just don't really like the Lewis gun or the M60, so I just go with the flamethrower. You can't make the flamethrower work. Like, my whole kit is basically set up to make the flamethrower work. And we do win the game, and I do play pretty well, and also I got good teammates, which always helps as well. Whenever you're using a loadout that maybe isn't the most meta, or whatever, which this isn't, having good teammates is just going to help that much more, because they're going to be able to cover your weaknesses. But yeah, it's a ranked tournament that we win. So, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.